Command and start. 2, 1.
Oh, wow. Dura 11 minutos que los van a estar en el espacio. Menos de 11 minutos, 2 minutos van a estar en el espacio. Y ahí descienden en paracaídas. 2005 no se despega, ahora que no se va a despegar. Unos 2 minutos. ¿Cómo le hace, Dios mío? No se sostiene. No se va de para abajo, ¿verdad? ¿O qué? Pero no se sostiene. Este es el tiempo que va corriendo. Llegado 2 minutos con 4 segundos.
Live pictures on your screen, live at 9:14. Jerry, Hugh, and I continue with our live team coverage. Look at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. This is fascinating because you can see real time, along with us, the velocity of the New Shepard and then the altitude. This is happening really fast, Jerry.
Yeah, and we're waiting for it to reach about 62 miles above Earth, which is internationally recognized as the Kármán line, which is the boundary to outer space. There's no real discernible atmosphere. The astronauts on board, well, I guess we can call them astronauts now, they'll be experiencing 3 minutes of weightlessness. Jeff Bezos, his brother Mark, along with 82-year-old Wally Funk and 18-year-old Oliver Damien on board New Shepard right now.
I don't know what you were doing at 18, but I was just really wasting my time. And right now, for this young man, time is of the essence. What an incredible journey. And you talk about Wally. I'm just obsessed with this woman because she, as you mentioned, was part of that Mercury 13 program because she's a...
Oh, wow.
Let's listen in.
So you have to look out the window when you get done. Oh, wow.
That's them. You can hear their voices.
Yeah, I think that's Jeff Bezos
No,
singing
ya
that.
están hablando en el espacio.
So some audio on board New Shepard will continue to listen into as they experience the effects of going into a suborbital flight here. And,
Es la voz de los que están allá adentro.
It's kind of like when I call my mom sometimes. It just kind of breaks up and you go, what you
Están
say?
celebrando.
But I think it's safe to say that
Su
Wally
mirada en el
and the rest of the 3-member crew are super excited.
Bueno,
they're hitting zero G.
They're hitting zero G.
Screen, yeah.
Okay. So these are the parachutes. Is that what we're
No,
no, that's not the
this.
parachute yet.
Not the parachutes yet.
That's coming yet. That's coming down the road.
Ahora
This
vienen
is
para
getting a
abajo.
little bit of fuzzy, and I'm trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
But back to Wally. She's iconic on so many levels. As we keep hearing a little bit of
Oh my
what
God,
they're
están
saying
viendo la
on
tierra ahora
board,
mismo.
but being turned down from the program as a woman, even though she trained and accomplished more than the men decades ago during the Mercury 13 program. Fast forward.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Un minuto.
1 minute warning here.
Until zero G?
Until microgravity, perhaps, as we approach that. Wally, yeah, impressive astronaut, impressive pioneer of aviation. I mean,
Absolutely.
1,900 hours of flight. You said she's trained how many people?
She says in a promotional video for Blue Origin, she's taught over 3,000 people how to fly. And, today's such a big day. The timing of this mission, we all talked about what it would look like. Now it's happening in real time. And why this mission stands out. And there you see why. Both of these live pictures on the left-hand side and the right-hand side speak for itself, and you hear the oohs and ahs in the audio that's breaking up a little bit.
And just want to let you know, you were talking about the parachutes. I think this is stage separation here on the right side of your screen, and the left is the booster that's going to return back to Earth, because much like SpaceX, they're going to reuse their booster, so it'll land there in West Texas.
And save some money, big time money.
The right side of the screen, that's where we're hearing the oohs and ahs from Jeff Bezos and the gang on board.
I'm just giggling because you don't have to be a space expert. It's just, this is awe-inspiring. So any of the young people watching right now wondering, whoa, this is historic. Remember where you are right now, because this is going to be a big talker years down the road.
It's paving the way for space tourism out there, Beth. It's really it's going to be quite impressive to see this flourish in the years ahead. People who have lots of money can do this, and hopefully the more times they do it, they can lower lower the cost and improve the access to space for all of us. But you can see on the right side of your screen, that's the booster about to land here. There in West Texas. So we'll wait for those images.
And speaking of which, this could be happening anywhere in the world, but there's always that cool factor of America is doing it, and we're doing it in the biggest, baddest way possible to show off how it can be done efficiently, cost effectively, and this is really getting interesting on the right hand side here, Jerry.
Yeah, there's the booster, the first stage booster getting ready to land. Let's listen in.
Sí, aquí vienen. Ahí cayeron ya. No va enfocado.
A little singed on the bottom, but looks pretty good to me. There's a little aerial view there.
Quedó la nave.
First stage booster landing there right on the pad.
They can mark that off their checklist as successful. And that always seems to me, and especially now because it's happening live, it's some sort of like, intergalactic, movie. Because back in the day, 15 years ago, if you would say this is going to happen, you go, how is that possible? But it's happening right now. And here we see the capsule.
New Shepard capsule with those big windows, some of the largest windows ever for a space faring vehicle. And I'm sure they got some impressive footage inside, and hopefully they'll share it with us to see what it was like.
And these numbers going in reverse because
three shoots necessary for landing.
Ahí se rompió el paracaídas.
Yeah, very impressive. So far it looks pretty good for that flight out there in West Texas.
Wow.
Ahí cayó el paracaídas. That's beautiful.
I'm working side by side with you, Jerry, but I can't help but just be, in just layman's terms, wow. I can hear Beastie Boys to the intergalactic song right now. It'd be perfect timing for this. These three parachutes are stunning.
That's beautiful.
Walk us through, Jerry, what exactly the parachutes do. Slow it down carefully because this is autonomous.
Yeah, it's autonomous. There's no pylon board, and so this is the only way for it to land. And we know that from other capsules that we cover, including the SpaceX Crew Dragon and the Boeing CST-100 Starliner, they're all landing via these parachutes. So very important for this mission. Lots of parachute tests have to be done beforehand in order to make sure they're ready for launch and landing. As you can see, they not only get a nice view of Earth, but also of West Texas there as they get ready to land.
Look at that.
With Sir Richard Branson's trip,
Back on July 11th, yeah.
Yep. And you could see them floating at some point. I'm sure we'll be provided some of the video.
It didn't look like they provided any in the capsule video this time, and perhaps that was a video
Mira,
feed or
pues
just a
ellos
decision
dijeron
by
11
Blue Origin.
minutos,
To
falta
wait
un
and see
minuto
how
exacto
everything
para que
went
toque
and then put it
tierra.
out to the
Yeah,
masses.
so hopefully we'll see that.
This is going to be a bumpy coming to a stop right
Qué
here.
envolvido la tecnología.
Maybe
Exactamente.
we're all watching together, aren't we? And you can't see through the windows.
Si
They're a little
fallan,
bit,
porque son
steamed up.
menos
I
de
can't really tell if it's just the way the sun's
A
shining.
little glare there. Yeah.
20 segundos para
SpaceX's
que
Crew Dragon,
aterrice.
by the way, splashes down in the ocean. You get a little seasick there.
Very different. Ooh,
Ahí cayó. Oh,
I definitely felt that.
wow.
But I'm sure it's totally worth it.
Well, successful mission for
Paracaídas
Jeff
no cayó
Bezos
todavía,
from
no se
embark
ve.
along with the
Por
oldest
lado,
person
me
now
imagino,
ever.
porque enfocaron la nave en sí.
The
Look.
youngest person ever in space.
Oh, wow. Esta es la parte como quedó cuando salió la nave. Y esta es la parte donde están ellos adentro.
Oliver Demon and their
Han muerto.
millions of dollars.
Se ven.
The first person
Oh
that's
my
supposed to
God.
be
Es cuando los
someone else
saquen.
wandering. Let's listen in.
Copy, Brenda. You have a very heavy Calcom here as well. Let's do a status check.
¿Están vivos? ¿Salieron en coma? Oh my
I'm going to take a
God.
wild guess, and I think this is
Mira
Jeff
la nave.
Bezos right in that window.
Yeah, it could be him or his brother. But it sounded like Bezos was saying absolutely amazing out there.
He was really
Están bien,
happy to
están bien.
tell Leon
Mira ahí
about this.
dónde quedaron los tres paracaídas.
Day.
Y la nave en medio. Es una cosa increíble. Que tienen que venirlos a buscar.
Unbelievably good.
Oh, wow. Can't believe it. It's beautiful.
And you can look at Joel Bezos' best day ever.
Ya están ahí, están hablando.
Everyone, go ahead and remain in your seats. Crew member 7 is on their way. Shortly, you will hear the capsule off-gassing.
Es una de las que
Ingenuity happening
protagonizó el
on
aterrizaje
American
por medio de
soil, literally.
computadoras.
So we gotta stay
Mire
quiet
cómo quedaron
because
los
I wanted you to
tres-
hear
los
what's
tres
breaking up a little
paracaídas.
bit the audio because it's fascinating to hear the
Lo extraño es que no se
exchange.
mueven.
Let's see if they say anything
Se
else.
supone que ya estén moviéndose alegres.
My favorite was the compliment.
Están mareados. Pero están hablando.
I think that's the chatter amongst them
Sí.
inside the capsule.
Eavesdropping.
Dice que están
Totally
emocionados.
eavesdropping.
¿Será?
Who doesn't eavesdrop? I do, especially
No hablan.
today.
Este es el equipo.
351,210 feet.
Wow.
Oh,
And
esa
their
fue la
big
imagen
parachutes
donde lo
that are
vienen a
now
buscar.
on the ground
Imagen.
as well.
Pero ahí está la nave en sí.
So what happens to this capsule next is one of the things that I, not being
Toda
an
la
expert,
gente que
oh,
lo
look at the
vio
young people here watching this one.
Vivo. Esa gente que quedaron ahí.
What happens to the capsule
Well,
next?
it's going to be reused, actually. I believe Blue Origin's planning 2 more launches this year, if this one proves successful, and certainly looks like it did. So 2 more launches this year. Maybe that guy who had the winning bid of
Hay uno que no se mueve. ¿Qué
had
es
the winning bid
esto?
of $38 million.
El dueño de la
to
nave, no
fly.
sé por qué no
Had
se
a
mueve.
scheduling conflict. That's why I couldn't fly today.
Pero hay
And that's
otros
why
que
we
se
got
están
18-year-old
moviendo ahí, se
Oliver
da pena.
And I'm sure Oliver
what
was so
happened?
happy that he was the one chosen for this.
Eran los paracaídas, la
Historic
distancia que
today's
tomaron.
mission, as we've been talking about for so many reasons, but
Porque es raro,
the biggest
se
one I would
demorado, a
say,
veces
first
viene
time
helicóptero, a
humans
veces
have
viene
gone
carro,
to
este tipo de
space
aterrizaje ya
aboard
lo
a
he
Blue
visto yo
Origin
antes.
And
spacecraft.
the
Pero
date
en
certainly
otras
means something to do
cápsulas
here
más
July
grandes que
20th
esta.
because it was 52 years ago
No,
that Neil
man,
Armstrong
como
and
esta,
Buzz
pero solo
Aldrin,
viene
our local
una
resident
persona cuando
on the Space Coast,
viene ahí de
landed
la
on the moon.
estación
And,
espacial. Pero en este caso,
one
más
small
miro que
step for
vienen a
man.
buscarlos.
One giant leap for mankind. You know, we have the replays. We wait for them to do the, is it egress?
I believe so.
I like that, throw that space, lingo
Bien,
towards
ahí llegaron a
Jerry
buscarlo.
on
Ahí
days
llegaron a
like
buscarlo.
this.
Quiero ver cuando
We see
ellos
the
salgan.
trucks that are rushing in,
Ahí llegaron a
getting
buscarlo.
closer to the capsule. As they get closer, I
Ahí
tell you
llegaron
what, let's
a
go ahead
buscarlo.
and do the replay of the launch from just
Pueden
moments
ver el
ago.
carro.
2, 1.
Así fue, están presentando como fue el despegue. Ahí están ellos. Salió solo lo que es la parte de arriba nada más.
Oh, egress is going in.
Okay.
Okay, we're having a very we're having a very big discussion about egress, degress. Yeah, 'cause
Bolivia.
entry, egress. So this would be degress. Thank you for that, Jerry. That's why you're the expert.
Ahí
Okay,
están,
so
ahí
this
están,
is
ahí
really
están.
interesting because now we see them
Ahora sí.
approaching, and this
Oh,
is
no
going to
pueden
be
moverse hasta que
where
no
we
lleguen a
all go
rescatarlos.
high five
Esto es lo que yo
these
quería
four
ver.
people because of they just
Ahora ya se
accomplished
movió uno,
is out of this world.
aprovechando los
Yeah, I
otros.
really want to see
Wow,
Wolf. I mean, a
salió
lot of
como
people
nada.
are rooting for her after
You know,
decades
tiene
of
que
being
sostenerse
denied.
ahí.
Jeff Bezos just stood up to get his
No es
hat. He just
subsidio.
stood up to get
Wow.
some sort of
Cowboy
special
hat.
hat. I'm sure that hat is going to be worth some money. Maybe he'll give it to some sort of charity event. But yeah, Jeff Bezos, people want to hear
creo que
from
la
him, the
mujer,
18-year-old and his brother, but I'd say more so than Wally is the person who everybody will want to hear from. And I have to tell you, as a woman, you look at somebody who is so accomplished and has tried for decades, and if you're watching this morning and you're a woman, you're like, I'm going to be 50 this year, Jerry. I look at her, and I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I'm inspired by Wally. I'm inspired by everything that
Uno
she's
de los más
about.
millonarios del mundo. Eso es lo que le estaba esperando. Llegué a la prensa, llegué todo.
No, do
Miren
not
esto.
deny yourself. Wally didn't do it. She happened to meet with Jeff Bezos, who's giving her
El que
the
pagó es el
opportunity of a
primero que tienen que
lifetime. So
sacar.
you go,
Me
girl.
imagino,
So
¿no?
it's never too late.
Never too
Están los
late.
periodistas,
Never give
está
up on
todo
your
esperando
dreams.
para que él salga.
Absolutely, because she was in an
Entonces,
era
él fue el
where
primero que
men
pagó.
were just, thriving in this
Bueno, él es
industry,
el
and she
del
was
pago,
just
¿no?
not
Va
allowed,
el
literally not
hermano.
allowed until now.
Va
And
la
true
primera
Jeff
mujer que fue a la luna,
Bezos, we see the crew, the TV crew with the mics
Y
and
un
the
muchacho
cable
joven.
poles. Probably one of the longest cable
Querían
poles I've seen in a long
poner
time here,
las
Jerry.
cuatro
I'm sure,
generaciones.
yeah,
por
out there in
decirlo
the
así.
desert of West Texas. And, you
La
know, we
mujer
look
más
at
mayor
this
que tiene
here on,
92 años,
in
tiene esa
Central
señora
Florida and
y
wonder,
me
well, what does
parece
this mean for us? And while Blue
el más
Origin does
rico,
have
uno de los más
facilities,
ricos
as
del
we
mundo,
mentioned,
con el
on
hermano
Kennedy
y
Space Center, so
un
perhaps some of
invitado de
these
Alemania, que es
astronaut
el
launches, space tours, and
joven. Ahí
launches
está
will
él.
come to
Ahí
our
lo tienen
coast
a
as
él.
well. And there you
Están
can see
enfocando a
Jeff
él.
Bezos giving the thumbs up.
Ahora nada más,
A
solo por
long time
este
ago, somebody from our
video
staff took us on a behind-the-scenes
que estoy
tour
grabando.
at the Kennedy Space
Son
Center.
millonadas
We did
que él va a
not
ganar, nada
put
más
any
solo
pictures
por
out there as we were going through
hacer
the
este
tour. We
video,
just soaked it all in.
independientemente de lo que
And
él
we looked at
gastó.
Blue Origin in the
Yo le
distance.
calculo que él va
And the person giving us the tour showed us there's big stuff
a
happening there.
prácticamente
Fast
recuperar
forward
la
to
mitad
now.
de lo que
Yeah,
él
if you go by
gastó.
the visitor complex now, you're going to see
Este
this
es el otro.
huge blue building, and that's where they're manufacturing these new Glenn rockets, which is a more powerful
Ese es
rocket
el
than the
que pueden
New
usar.
Shepard that launched today. So they're getting ready. They've got a launch pad out there. They're getting
Hasta la
things
otra,
prepared.
están
Believe the
teniendo
next
poder.
launch attempt is late 2022 with the first
Miren
launch
esta
attempt
toma.
from our Space Coast.
Miren
They're
a
still
él,
working on that.
increíble.
And all these space
Wow.
workers need to live, play, and eat somewhere and educate their children, and that's happening
dinero
on
es
our
una cosa
space coast.
increíble,
Not
¿no?
just
Te
that,
da
there's
tus
residual
propia
ripple effects
fantasía,
that happen
pero
across our community. I know that in the
lamentablemente,
area over in the Conway area of
sí, ¿no?
Orange County
Nosotros
by the beach
nosotros
line,
estamos
there's a
más
few
cuando
people who
miramos.
work on the space coast
Miren
but
a
want to
este.
live a little bit closer to Orlando, and they just commute. Just go up the beach line, straight down
Todavía
over
los
to the
tiene
Kennedy
grabando
Space Center.
nosotros,
That is money,
imagínate.
those are jobs,
Fuera
those are
de
things
eso
that
de que
impact
lo-
us here,
los tiene
not
grabándolo.
just in Texas where this is happening, but it's part of our
Nosotros no lo han
landscape.
sacado
Yeah, my other
todavía.
day job as a traffic anchor,
Ah.
they're actually also looking at building
Sí,
another
claro, claro,
connector
vamos.
between Osceola County and Orange
You
County.
don't say.
So, yeah, it's coming
Ahí
down
está
in the
lo que está
pipeline
esperando
many
los
years away,
periodistas,
but still a lot of ways to connect because
Está lleno
certainly
de
a lot of
periodistas,
people
pueden observar.
love the Space Coast and want to
Para
be a
el
part
de la
of
entrevista.
what's happening out there.
My heart is skipping a beat right now. I can only guess these are relatives
Mhm.
and
There
close
you go.
friends of
Ahora.
the 4 people on board. You can
Ahora,
see the
it's
excitement.
coming.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, wow. Ahí está. Ese era el primero porque él fue el que él pagó. El segundo, la señora.
There's Wally.
There's Wally.
Wow. El hermano. Ah, no, este es el mero. Este es el mero mero. Ese es el jefe. Él salió de tercero. Él salió de tercero, pensé que él iba a salir de primero.
You know,
Oh
there's
my
not a lot of
God.
social distancing going on here, and it's who can blame them? I
Un
mean,
chamaco,
there's
falta
an 18-year-old right
chamaco.
here. We've got Oliver on the left-hand
Ese es
side.
el
One of his
chamaco.
dad's there, I'm sure he is, and other family members. This is truly historic on so many levels. And
Oh, ya está el
even though
chamaco
this is
también
about
ahí, ya
space
estamos
exploration and innovation, there's nothing like, right?
Oh
Somebody getting a pat in the back and a high five.
Well,
to
amigos,
say,
espero este
job
video
well
les haya
done. This has
gustado.
taken so many people to get to this
Oh,
point.
my God.
And to see some of their
Ni
closest
salieron
friends
ni
and family
mareados ni
just
nada.
congratulate them.
Es
It's
una
really
cosa
beautiful right now.
increíble, la tecnología, ¿no?
Absolutely, and
La
obviously
señora,
we'll have
el
much to
joven.
tell. We understand there'll be a little bit of a news conference later on, so we'll hear their thoughts and viewpoints on what happened out there on this historic mission, the first astronaut human mission for Blue Origin.
Yeah, as we look at the live pictures,
Es
I'm just wondering, you know,
increíble, miren qué cosa más
who's the
bonita.
woman in the red cowboy boots?
Momento histórico.
She's got her toes there in the sand, her boots. You know, these are friends and family, I guess, staff members that have been handpicked, I'm sure, by
Una
Jeff
capsulita
Bezos
nada más.
to be
Sin
there.
piloto, sin nada.
This is
Pura
West Texas,
tecnología.
yeah.
This is West Texas.
wow.
I do.
Pasó en Texas, en el desierto
Yes, we
de
hear
Arizona.
you. Lots of tight hugs here.
Sí, en Texas.
It's exhilarating. I'm sure their adrenaline level
ahí
is
está.
just through the roof. The booster landing is
Señora,
something that you were
era la
really,
señora.
that you walked us through as it was happening with
Increíble.
what I call a play-by-play, because there are many things that can go right, but there are many more things, right, Jerry, that can go wrong.
Oh, certainly, and we've seen that with Blue Origin's big competitor, SpaceX, which really
Solamente
paved
por
the
hacer
way
eso,
in this
ahora está
reusability
ganando
of the
él.
first stage booster. So we have some video we want to show you of that landing, and they do this in order to reuse the boosters.
Cuando cayó la parte de lo que subió, están mostrando. O sea, el cohete que lo subió es esta. Y luego mostraron cuando cayó, ¿no? Esta es la parte que cayó. Y se fue solo lo que era la cápsula, lo vieron ellos. Así quedó la cápsula. El cohete, y aquí es cuando ellos vienen. No, le está viviendo la experiencia, está contando. Ya él se
Jerry, this
contaba.
thing could have toppled over, could have fallen over. There's a lot of, you know, combustion things that could go wrong,
Sí,
combustibility, but that's
contando sus
not